Hi, this is Nick Astor with TriplePundit.com. I'm here at the Omidyar Executive Forum in Redwood City, California. I'm here with Chuck Slaughter. He is the founder of Living Goods, who could be described as the Avon of pro-poor products. Chuck, tell me, what does that mean?
Well, it means that, for starters, that we're in business to change the lives of the poor. And one of the ways that we do that is by improving access to products that can save their lives and change their lives. So examples include things like clean burning cook stoves that reduce indoor air pollution and save money, or solar lights, which actually do the same, water filters, fortified foods, and even treatments for malaria and diarrhea, which are some of the biggest killers of young children.
And what is it about what you do that makes these products more accessible?
Well, if you think about the existing landscape in most of these emerging markets, it's almost perfectly fragmented. If you look at retailing of any kind of product or service, whether it's health products or energy products or agricultural products, it's a million mom and pop shops. They have no buying power, no brand power. They're at the mercy of their suppliers. And what that means is that prices are very high in the private sector. The direct selling model, the Avon model that Living Goods is based on, brings order, efficiency, scale, and specifically brings buying power to those very small sellers. Of course, it brings the power of the Avon brand or the McDonald's brand or whatever franchise that's licensing its model.
So in a nutshell, you work with folks who are already familiar with these communities, who have a network in these communities, who are going out and selling whatever it might happen to be it a bio-cook stove, be it some kind of nutritional product. How does that work? Is it a franchise? Tell us a little bit more of the nuts and bolts.
It's very much like a franchise. So we recruit, train, and support independent agents who work under our brand and our license. So in that sense, it's both a franchise and a franchise like McDonald's and a direct selling business like Avon or Amway. We are the wholesaler, so we make a margin on the products that they sell. And then they use, as you said, 3 or 4 different ways of marketing their products. One of the most important ones, though, is using their social networks. So that's, if you look at an Avon or an Amway, they don't spend a lot of money on marketing. Their marketing capital is the social connections of their agents.
Mm-hmm. And what are the types of products that are most common right now?
Well, it's an interesting choice of word, common. So we don't make a lot of money on products that are already widely distributed. We look for products that have potential for high impact, but are not necessarily widely distributed. So some of the ones you mentioned, like clean burning stoves, solar lights, fortified packaged foods, those are some of our best-selling and highest impact products. Although interestingly, we also sell some fast-moving consumer goods like soap, shampoo, diapers, feminine pads, which are widely distributed, but what those do for us is generate traffic. It's a little bit like a pharmacy or grocery store where you put the high-velocity items in the back and you pull people in with those items and they walk past your higher impact, higher margin products in the front of the store.
And right now you're active only in Uganda. Can you give us some idea of how many folks you've touched, be it consumers in terms of giving them the access to these products, but also the entrepreneurs that you've basically created and given the opportunity to go into business?
So right now we serve a population of just under 500,000. We treated over 100,000 children under 5 for deadly diseases last year. And those services were provided through a network of about 800 independent agents.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's interesting to me is not only are you able to sell your own products or the companies that you've been, wholesaling for, but potentially the technology that you've created and the systems that you've created are going to be useful for other entrepreneurs, folks maybe in the solar panel business or something like that. Tell me a little bit about how that works and the technological side of it specifically.
Yeah. Well, what we're aiming to be, to your point, is really a sustainable distribution platform. We're not just about health or just about energy. We want to create, we call it an economy of assortment. So many of these companies who are innovating in solar or in water, for example, they are often one or two product companies, and they've all struggled with distribution. What's compelling is so many of these products really have a direct financial benefit to the buyer. You know, they can make their money back in months or weeks. And so these products should be owned by hundreds of millions of people, and yet they're not. And it's widely agreed that the biggest challenge is in distribution, sort of the retailing, if you will. And so part of what we're doing is solving that distribution problem for these great innovators of these products and bringing them together and creating this economy of assortment where our marginal cost of testing one new product is close to nothing.
Great. Chuck Slaughter with Living Goods, thanks so much for joining me.
My pleasure.